Lefty is ready. Goes with the fastball. Swing and a miss! Strike three! Hey, guess who's going to state for the first time since 1989? The Cedar Falls Tigers.
We've had some good teams over the years, but this particular team this year with Cedar Falls brings back so many memories of my '89 state tournament team. In '88, we had probably what I consider the most talented group of kids that I've had in my years of coaching, which has been a number. But I remember that year we were led by Danny Jones and Chris Nuss. Chris, of course, went on to play football up at UNI, and Danny went on to pitch at Northwestern and then was drafted by the Pirates and played in the Pirate organization. So the following year, '89, the year we went to state, we were rebuilding basically. We had a lot of kids who were playing who had very little varsity experience. But that group of kids were competitive as all get out. They were multiple sport athletes, and I'd known them since junior high. And they worked their tails off. They were committed to each other, playing their roles. And the season went on, and those were in the days of 40 games schedules. So we played a good, tough schedule. Got to the tournaments, and we wound up beating our arch rival West in the first round, then beat a good Webster City team, and ironically wound up playing Cedar Rapids Kennedy at Veterans Memorial Stadium and beat them to go to the state tournament. In the state tournament then, of course, Matt Wagner was one of our pitchers at that point, who was a player at Arkansas, Iowa State, and then drafted by the Seattle Mariners, and actually pitched in the big leagues with the Mariners and the Expos. So he led the way with us with that group of kids who all played their roles, and just a wonderful season. Reminds me a lot of the kids this year and what the Tigers are going through. In the '89 season, they were mostly seniors, but there were kids who had very little varsity experience playing time-wise. But we had a very strong junior varsity program where they got that skill and talent, where they developed that. And really that was the goal of our program, was to give every kid an opportunity to work their way up and get a chance to play. And in those days we had typically 100 kids trying out every spring. With the skill and the talent, there's always a little bit of luck involved too, as far as getting to the state tournament. You know, having been a Cedar Falls Tiger for years and years, I've seen that play out both ways over the years. But that experience and talent level is invaluable as you move through. I actually coached Brett, and he went through the program with us. You know, I don't know how much he retained from that, but Brett's a wonderful young man who is dedicated to his kids, and I think the kids will play their hearts out for him, and that's really what it amounts to. But he's got all the makings to be there, and the big thing is, I think, the love and respect the kids have for him as their head coach. Yeah, there'll be nerves, obviously, especially at Principal Park. It's a beautiful venue to play in. I guess what I would say is, when that first pitch is delivered, the nerves come off and you start playing your game. It's like any other game. You get out there and then take care of the basics. And I think one thing with a young team that's unfortunate this year is they have 8 games under their belt right now. But at the same point, they've worked hard in practice, done some simulations. I think they'll be just fine down there.
And Cedar Falls wins Class 4A Sub-State 3. Hey, guess who's going to state for the first time since 1989?